Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Not too much happened since the last video. It's super sloppy structure again, super messy structure with that increase there today. Let's take a look at what it's doing. But so far, I can tell you that this latest increase is so far also only a three-wave move up. So we don't have a convincing structure to say that the low is already in. We keep the door open for higher, absolutely. Here with a question mark, the wave 4 could have completed, but obviously I need to see more evidence to be able to confirm it. We haven't even broken above previous highs. So the comments from the last video are pretty much still valid, even though the assumption of a potential diagonal with another move down, they obviously, it gets challenged right now. Let's take a look at this. So first of all, it is important to understand that whatever happens here can be seen as noise. The overall really important factor here is that the price doesn't break below 34K. This is really the key main support that I've been highlighting for round about nearly a month now. And as long as this level is holding, another high is expected. Tomorrow we'll talk about the daily chart again. I did that earlier today anyway. But as long as that level is holding, we are short-term bullish on Bitcoin. Yeah, and have been for the last few weeks and so on. But obviously we need to give it this space in case it needs it, for the correction. And, any pullbacks could be seen as buying opportunities if they show. They have been extremely shallow recently. So that's just, because we're in an uptrend, as long as that level is holding, uptrend, yes, and pullbacks could be an opportunity. That's sort of pretty much been my message. And any pullbacks that have shown, I think have been opportunities, okay? Even though they have been shallow. So that's just to understand the bigger picture here on the 1 hour chart. Let me take that red line out. Now let's zoom in. The idea is, so there are two scenarios I'm following. Short-term bullish, short-term bearish. Short-term bullish first. Even though I'm skeptical about it at this stage, I would like to see still a little lower here. And there are still various ways how this could unfold. But short-term bullish would mean we have seen a wave W, a wave X, and the Y wave was an A, B, C structure, and the price has formed a low in the support zone in wave 4, and we're now moving up in wave 5. How can this be confirmed? Well, it would need to be confirmed with a break above the $45,900 level, basically what in this count it would be the X wave high, the 2nd of January high. So price would need to move above that level, ideally in 5 waves, so that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a 3-wave pullback would give us a support zone, another, let's say, trading area, and it would be the setup and the structure we need to confirm that wave 4 is bottomed. 5 waves up, 3 waves down. That's key. That's the short-term bullish scenario. I'm skeptical about it at this stage because the move to the downside was only a 3-wave move. Ideally, because the WXY is only it's not such a common pattern. And the ABC, which ideally sees 1 or 2 more lows, is generally the more common pattern. So if we talk about probabilities, and I always like to align with probabilities, obviously at the moment they are fairly balanced, but still, that's why I slightly prefer another move down, even though this scenario is getting challenged again. It's just a more probable pattern. Now, also in the idea of an A, B, C structure where the C wave is coming down, obviously the way to see this at the moment is that this is a 1-2 pattern. Then we are now in wave 3, which is unfolding in a very messy A, B, C structure. That B wave is getting quite high. Would like to see a move down from here to keep this scenario alive. And then this would be 3, 4, 5. That's sort of how I see it. Just to be aware that if we climb and break higher and this gets invalidated, yes, it will shift probabilities towards direct breakout, but it will not be confirmed until I see 5 waves up, 3 waves down. That's a very important message because this is such a corrective overlapping structure. There can be other patterns that could form here, that could play out. I mean, oops, For example, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this third wave sits here. What's then, you know? If this third wave sits here, maybe I'm wrong, right? And just to highlight why I don't want to call a top in place before having 5 waves up and 3 waves down. If wave 3 is here, then this would be an A wave down. Yep, this would be a B wave. But again, the B wave can overshoot. And then we come down in wave C. So be aware of that, okay? So we need to see 5 up, 3 down. Until then, I remain skeptical if a low at the moment is in place. We just need to be a bit flexible. Don't think that a break above resistance is necessarily a bullish setup. It has bullish implications. It's not necessarily a bullish setup, because if after the break above resistance, 5 waves are complete, could be followed by a decline again. So again, just that's why I like, dip buying, and possibly selling into resistance if you are if you're interested in doing the frequent trading. But yeah, that's sort of my perspective at the moment. So we have to be a bit flexible here in the short term. I did mention it already as we headed into the week that this week would be very volatile. We will have to expect high volatility, unexpected movements, distortions due to the overheated, or let's say very emotional discussion around these ETFs. So just be aware of that. So yeah, and I think this is gonna stay on for a little bit, this sort of volatility. And it's good to see that volatility. It keeps it interesting. Certainly not boring. Sometimes you see these absolute boring, days where nothing happens, but at least we see a little bit of action. So not much more to add, however. I think scenarios should be clear, support levels should be clear. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. And yeah, if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. The link is in the description. It's the Patreon link, the first link. And yeah, maybe we'll see you there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.